When we look back on the history of the luxury crossover, Infiniti is rarely given the credit they deserve for helping to kickstart one of the most popular and lucrative segments in the automotive world thanks to the FX35. Now in 2023, Infiniti is mostly an afterthought in this market, as the BMW X3, Audi Q5, and Mercedes-Benz GLC outshine the QX50, as their performance, design, and features are held in a very high regard. Infiniti's smallest and most affordable crossover, despite its shortcomings, has the intangibles to be a great vehicle for you and your family. And if you're somebody who's looking for something unique and different, Infiniti might have exactly what you desire in your next vehicle. So here are 5 things you should know about the 2023 Infiniti QX50 before buying one. When you take a first glance at the QX50, you get the impression that it's smaller than competitors in this segment, as its smoother body lines and aerodynamic roofline makes this crossover look sleek, but with the potential of being less spacious than rivals. Surprisingly, with a length of 185 inches and a width of 75 inches, it's on par with other crossovers in this price range. For second-row passengers, their seats can be adjusted forwards and backwards, as they are on rails, which isn't typical for most two-row vehicles. Shoulder, leg, and headroom are more than adequate, and in fact, you can have taller adults sit behind you comfortably. It's the rear cargo area where the QX50 impresses the most, as its 31.4 cubic feet of room behind the second-row seats outclasses the BMW X3 and many others in this segment. For those who take frequent road trips throughout the year, there's plenty of space for luggage and gear. And when those second-row seats aren't in use, you'll have just over 65 cubic feet of room to move smaller furniture or load up this crossover with camping gear or equipment if you're an avid adventurer. Infiniti has always excelled at manufacturing and crafting iconic vehicles, whether it's the G37 Coupe or the legendary FX35. There's more than a handful of cars that you could point to today and say, that Infiniti still looks good after all these years. And in the 2020s, the same holds true for the current lineup as well. The 2023 model year ushers in the new sport trim for the QX50, adding sportier and lower profile aesthetics that complements the silhouette and profile of this crossover, more so than the chrome accents that Infiniti is most known for when discussing cosmetic elements. At first glance, you'll probably recognize that the front fascia is slightly different than what you'll find on other trims. And in fact, it's the same front end from the QX55 that adds athletic and eye-catching features to really set this model aside from the others. The aggressive front bumper and repositioned fog lights is a facelift that we wish was present for other QX50s as well, and providing better visibility at night while also making this crossover looking up to date are full LED headlights. Then coming around to the back, the blacked out badging and color contrasting accents complete the full removal of chrome accents on the QX50, including the dual exhaust outlets. And it's for this reason alone we find the Sport to be the pick in the QX50 lineup. However, there's a number of standard features for the interior that makes this trim the best bang for your buck. But just from an exterior perspective, the sportier look does go a long way in making this crossover appear to be dynamic and fun, which was lacking in the past. Up until the recent arrival of the completely refreshed QX60, Infiniti has been behind the curve in many aspects, specifically interior technology. With the lack of a full digital gauge cluster, and by some people's standards, an archaic user interface, the QX50 falls short when compared to Audi, Mercedes-Benz, and even Volvo, and likely would be seen closer to being on par with the Alfa Romeo Stelvio in that regard. The dual touchscreen setup has been a staple of Infiniti's interior designs for many years. And while we do like the navigation map, Apple CarPlay, and camera systems being separated from the main head unit, it's not the most intuitive. The physical buttons and dials will certainly appeal to buyers looking for a traditional layout. as competitors are embedding many features such as the dual zone climate control settings in the user interface rather than overstyling the cabin with redundant buttons. However, where Infiniti once again draws us back in is with the quality of the interior, as higher trims will have semi-aniline leather upholstery, with our model being equipped with heated and ventilated seats coming standard. Also impressive is the available features such as a top view, side view, and front and rear backup cameras, the Bose premium audio system, and a panoramic moonroof. As a commuter vehicle, the cabin is rather welcoming and plush, but hopefully at some point in the future, we see modern technology get integrated to immerse you into a futuristic driving environment. Luxury crossovers in the 2020s are often geared more towards performance than solely focusing on interior comfort and quality. In a market that includes the BMW X3, Audi Q5, Acura RDX, and Alfa Romeo Stelvio, there's no shortage of fun and engaging vehicles that are also reasonable and daily drivable. Infiniti is often looked at as being the runt of the luxury compact crossover segment, despite the list of selling points and attributes that could appeal to Americans. However, sometimes the cons outweigh the pros. Under the hood, the QX50 is powered by a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that produces 268 horsepower and 280 pound-feet of torque, which is actually one of the more potent powertrains we currently see in this crowded market. But it's the CVT where a smile can quickly turn into a frown, as the lack of a traditional automatic takes so much away from the driving experience, especially when rivals are using quick-shifting 8-speed automatics. Despite all of this, the QX50's power delivery is rather impressive, with a 0 to 60 time of around 6.4 seconds. And due to its high amount of torque, this vehicle is quite peppy, offering more than enough performance to get around slower drivers or entering highways. More importantly, the QX50 has one of the softest suspensions out there, potentially being a close second behind the Volvo XC60. While feedback when cornering on back roads leaves much more to be desired, this crossover is the true definition of what a luxury vehicle is all about, or at the very least, used to be known for. Frustratingly, the QX50 could rank rather high in this segment, even with the older user interface and interior layout, had Infiniti dropped in an automatic like we see with the new QX60. It's for that reason we caution buyers to prepare for the droning of the engine and the lack of crisp gear shifts. However, the pleasant ride quality could make the QX50 a great family vehicle if you can live with the CVT. The QX50 is one of those vehicles that will look back and wonder what could have been, especially this particular generation, as it relies heavily on older Nissan technology and the brand's insistence on using a CVT in this segment. Don't get us wrong, the QX50 is a solid crossover in its own right, as it's a vehicle that's more practical than a BMW X3 or Audi Q5, more powerful than most rivals, and undercuts the competition when it pertains to pricing. The lack of modern tech and that CVT, sadly, are the lasting impressions for many, and too much to overcome when shopping for a luxury crossover. We do believe that there's redeeming qualities, and in fact, its family friendliness might be the sole factor for some buyers, which is why the QX50 should still be worth considering if you're looking to make an upgrade this year from your Nissan, Toyota, or Honda. We hope you enjoyed this quick buyer's guide for the 2023 Infiniti QX50. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe for more videos like this one. And if you're interested in buying a QX50 or any other luxury compact crossover, make sure to check out our full reviews to help you find your next vehicle. And thanks for watching.